Are you aware that Olivia is in love with your boyfriend?
No, she's not.
Will you stop?
Penelope.
Dare.
Make out with Olivia.
Let's get this party started.
Tight.
Carter.
Truth.
What are your intentions with our sweet Olivia?
I needed to find someone with friends that I could trick into coming here.
Well, that was a fast escalation.
I could tell Olivia was an easy target.
Why, did she say she majored in gender studies, or that she had like 10 cats?
All up here, because I'm okay with strangers dying if it means I get to live.
What the hell?
The game's real.
The game is real. I'll tell you which games I wish were real. Ragnarok and Breath of the Wild. I'm a bit of a retro kind of person myself, but sure, let's go with...
Okay, wherever you go, whatever you do, it'll find you.
I feel like I'm expecting a ding. To be fair, it does sound like you just let a serial killer in amongst your group of friends and they're all about to die, so I'd probably leave you too. Oh my gosh, a loud noise! Oh my gosh, his ugly face! Oh my gosh, it's Universal! Oh my god.
Something really weird has been going on ever since Mexico.
Oh, come on.
I'm serious. I'm seeing things.
Truth or dare?
Just freeze frame on this face, and if anyone asks you what the Uncanny Valley looks like, just send them this pic. But for some reason, it's enough to make this guy want to show off his junk in front of everyone. I don't get it.
Dare.
I know it sounds insane.
Just a little.
This fine young lady here dared me to show you my business.
Seen it before, not impressed. Carter said, tell the truth or you die. Do the dare or you die.
Refuse to play,
You know what? Screw this.
and you die.
Oh my gosh, that face. And at this point, I knew that this was going to become a theme, and it was my first indication of no. Just like how he thought no on life. Too soon?
We're not playing the game. It's playing us.
So what do we do?
Only choose truth.
Marky's constantly cheating on Lucas.
Lucas, wait. I'm sorry. Touch me again and I'll break that hand.
There is one of her in every movie. You can practically expect her death by Act 3.
Truth.
That's not how this works. Only the game decides.
Can we just admit that how they came up with this great method is that someone was just leaning over their 12-year-old's Photoshop project when they're playing around with all the tools and thought, yes, that's it, brilliant.
Break Olivia's hand.
You have to do it.
Look, as pissed as I am at you right now, there's no way I'm gonna break your hand.
Well, you don't really have a choice. God, just do it. This game is too smart. Half the people in this photo are now dead.
We need to find what started all this. How do we get out of this game alive?
This clip just answered that question through teamwork, because you're all gonna die.
You can't. It only ends when all the players are dead.
You know your movie's stupid when it's practically ripping off The Happening.
And your turn's next.
Dare me to choose which one of you to kill.
Truth or dare?
Well, that's over with. So basically, I do not think that I will be going to see this movie. Or if I do, I'm going to be watching one of those movie explained things, so that way I don't have to waste much more of my life thinking about this film. It's obviously going to be a drag, and it's obviously going to be full of just nonsense. I mean, if you like this concept, this death game concept, it's really overdone in anime, and also by being overdone in anime, you've got a lot more of a selection. In fact, what this is probably based off, if any of them had any sense, is King's Game. Yes, King's Game. This annoying piece of crap. Why is it an annoying piece of crap? Because it is one of the most poorly written things I have ever watched. I wound up slogging through this entire anime, and then some, and then I wound up having to read up on it later on, and it was just like, wow, that was not a good payoff. That was BS. But even then, I would much rather rewatch King's Game than watch this movie. And with King's Game, at least, basically, if you haven't watched it, there is a classroom that gets randomly selected, and they all get sent text messages saying, this is the king's order, and you have to follow the king's order. You have to do or say whatever he wants you to, and if you don't by a allotted time frame, then you will die or have something horrible happen to you. And that game explored at least a little bit more of a concept, and how they did that was they had much more players, and as a result you got to see how the rules worked. They got to try to use the rules to their advantage to try to survive, whereas in this it's like, oh, the game chooses your choice. It's not how it works. You can't just choose what you want to. And it's like, well, that is the game. You've literally had to change the game's rules in order to fit your narrative. And the narrative should be based around the rules. Like, for example, in King's Game, you had a girl who thought, well, the king must be in the class because he's able to watch us so closely. Therefore, if I place a rule upon myself that I must find the king and touch him, and therefore, when I do, I'll get this text message saying that I have found the king and will be able to end this. And the other character's like, yes, but if you can't find them, if you can't touch them, you will die. And she's like, I'm willing to take that chance. And then it was this highly tense situation where she had to go through and touch every member of the class, and everyone's suspicion is mounting in the room, and the tension is mounting in the room as she gets down to her most trusted friends and the girls, and winds up eventually having touched everyone in the classroom and coming to the realization that she is either going to die or have something horrible happen to her. And it's like, that was tension, because she had a character that she trusted that had convinced her the king must be in the classroom. And then when that realization came that no, he's not, it was like, you've let me down. And so then the main character had to carry on that guilt. Also, when the king would randomly just attack people and drop them like flies, like how he practically killed off half the classroom by sending them a text at midnight, telling them not to fall asleep. It's midnight. I don't know what everybody else does, probably stays up late playing LOL or COD or whatever, but at that time, I am asleep. I can't receive any orders. So he practically killed off half the class in a bullshit way just to show you that, the anime. And I would still rather watch that again than this. And I can just imagine how much of a better movie this concept would have been if they had added the same drama as King's Game did, because every single iteration of it, the scale got bigger and bigger and bigger. One minute it was one classroom, then it graduated to all of the classrooms in the country, and eventually it was going to graduate to all the classrooms in the world. And of course it only ends when one person survives, whereas if you're all gonna die, it's like you got no hope, you kind of stuffed, and that's it. Whereas if they offer you the little carrot of, if you turn on your friends, if you betray your friends, you will eventually win and you will survive as a result. I think that would have been better. In this movie, it's obvious that the guy at the start is trying to increase his chances of surviving by increasing the number of victims. So imagine if they'd gone further with that concept and they had made it where he's trying to completely saturate whatever this spiritual thing is with so many victims that by the time it got to his turn, he'd be an old man and he wouldn't have to play this stupid game. So imagine him trying to go to something like Hollywood and trying to get a star to play the game, and then that star was going to go on a TV show and play Truth or Dare with the TV host. Then imagine that TV host realizing that now he could die as a result of playing the game, through playing the game with the person on the show, who had played the game with the person that had manipulated him to go on there and do it. And then imagine that same TV presenter having to play Truth or Dare with every one of his guests, even the poor unfortunate guests that he had, in order to make sure that he survived. And then imagine all of these celebrities then playing Truth or Dare at all of their appearances and movie events, and making it like one of those fun little quirky things that they do on the red carpet and all this sort of thing, and then affecting all of the interviewers who will then have to do it to all of the other celebrities and all the other people that they interview. And then just imagine this thing spreading exponentially. Now that would be a huge threat. So imagine if the antagonist of the movie was not this spiritual force, but the man at the beginning trying to use the rules of the game and spread this thing like a virus. Because to him, if eventually everyone knew that this game was legit, then you could act like a crazy idiot and everyone would be like, oh, okay, he's been affected by the game, therefore he's got to do it. So the end game for him is a sense of normalcy. And it's kind of like, well, look, if we had like the Ring movie and everyone was aware of what the Ring movie was and you just had to make a copy and show someone else. And then it's like, it eventually becomes so commonplace. It'd be like, oh, okay, they got the stupid film again. Hey guys, here's the link, and then being like, oh, great, now, okay, here's the link to my two friends, and then you don't have to worry anymore. It's normal. So imagine the characters in this trying to stop this guy from spreading it to major stars and major TV networks to try to make it so that way he doesn't wind up killing more people. They want it to sort of end with them. Kind of like a bye-bye man type situation. Or they want to be the last person standing if that had been a rule, and therefore it would end with them. And I feel like the human drama is often a lot more interesting than the supernatural creature, because in this case I don't think that it can hold up to much. I don't think that it will be remembered in a couple years, except maybe as part of a super cringy movie. Anyway, that's just my take on it. Tell me what you think in the comments. If you liked this video, then please subscribe and like. If you want to visit me on my art pages, that's Kurai Draws, KURAIDROWS.devineart.com, or you can visit my Patreon, and I would really appreciate it. Tell me if you guys want more videos like this. It was a little hard. I'm not that used to video editing programs. I use Filmora, so any tips is much appreciated. Thanks guys, bye.